All right, welcome everyone to our April 11th, 2023, 2 p.m. consent agenda meeting. Please let the record reflect that all commissioners are present. We have Commissioner Cuney joining us on Zoom, and the other 4 of us are here in the chambers. We do not, just before we get rolling, just to let you know, we do have 3 public hearing items at the end of our meeting. We will begin with open public forum, but before we do that, did want to recognize we have 2 Gonzaga Prep students who are joining us to observe the county government process. We have Kevin McKiernan and Bo Howell, so thank you for joining us today. And so now we will get started with open public forum. Anyone wishing to testify on anything not on our printed agenda, please approach the front. And also, please fill out one of the yellow forms if you have not done so already, just so our record is complete on who is testifying. So anybody wishing to testify for open public forum, please. Oh, if you just come up, we'll take them for you, but please, if you're testifying for open public forum, so anything not on the printed agenda.
This is open, we're on the agenda.
Okay, they're going to testify on a public hearing item. So open public forum, please come forward. Yeah, I think you know the drill. Please state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Those are yours.
Unless, do you have someone else with you?
6. I have,
Okay, 6 minutes.
Steve Oglesby here with me. So I did have a meeting here, a meeting with Al French last Wednesday. Thank you for your time. I don't believe it ended particularly well. I did hear, and I don't know if it was intensive. It was intended for me to hear it, but I did hear some verbiage that all the photos that I provided in that document that I provided to you several times, the very large one with the almost 2,000 yards dumped, was all hearsay, so nothing was going to be done. Did I hear that correctly? Well, you can answer at the end. I did hear that comment that because it's hearsay, that wasn't going to be addressed.
It's taken out of context, but I
Okay.
can respond to that.
Okay, that would be fine. Do you want to wait till the end and I'll get through this and we'll do that way? Okay. I've provided you again with the on-site informational review for the 18610 project, Don Bailey. You'll see notice number 4 at the bottom, and at time building permit issuance, there has to be an approach permit. This is the same stuff I talked with you about Wednesday, but I wanted it to be on the public record. And then you'll turn to page 2, and you will see that the approach permit he used has a different parcel and a different name on it. It was not his, yet he was still given a permit. You'll see Kevin Walt and Lisa Lane. That's actually Judy Gross's property. The property was sold to them on a note, and they defaulted, and she took back possession. So that's the same property next door that Judy Gross owned until last summer. So he did not have an approach permit, and he did not have the notice to hearing number 4, which is you'll see on page. I have it number 2. It should be 3, but you'll see the. What do you call it? Notice to public engineering. It's a cooperative road agreement. And again, you'll see Kevin Walton, Lisa Lane, and you'll see a different parcel number than Don Bailey's. And that's what he used to get his original permit to build his barn with the bathroom. He used fraudulent information, and that was allowed by Spokane County. When I brought it to their attention shortly after he obtained the permit, they let him keep the permit, which violates the 3rd paragraph on the back of the permit, which says if fraudulent information is used, the permit's not valid. So what I'm trying to find out is, again, we're trying to get him into compliance, but we still don't have a cooperative road agreement for Don Bailey. He has since put in 2 more roads other than his first road, so a total of 3. He did one of those without a permit. Of course, he wasn't fined. That was on May 7th of 2020. Yeah, 2020. Anyway, if you go to page 5, you'll see illegal approach construction. So that's from the county, showing that they acknowledged he didn't have that paperwork necessary to get the permit. And then, let's see, the page 6 is the road that he put in without a permit on May 7th, 2020. Then on, let's see, number 7 in your packet there, barn with the bathroom was 2nd floor workshop. That's what he was given a permit for. But then we did a change of use to a residence because it wasn't a workshop. It was a residence upstairs. So again, that's fraudulent information used on the permit, which invalidates the permit. That's what it says on the back of the permit. So why are we so worried about compliance when we have an invalid permit that can't be a permit because it hasn't even met the criteria to get a permit yet? But we're worried about giving him an HVAC permit and a plumbing permit. That's what was given to him last November. And again, I do not believe, and I believe county code supports me in 14616300 when it says that you cannot get a permit if you're out of compliance. Let's see, we have number 9, which is, that's just an inspection for his barn with the bathroom with the workshop. Number 10 is change of use to a residence on the second floor because he fraudulently put in a residence upstairs, not a workshop. Okay, that invalidates his permit as well. Then look at page 11. That is his grading permit that he was given after the county filed for his storage issue and his construction yard. He was given a permit which violates county code 14616300, first paragraph, which is actually the last page of your packet you have there. And it says here, penalties will be assessed for commencing work without a permit, and the date is 10/24. So on 10/26, he brought in 30 yards of soil and at least 10 yards of drain rock and put in a septic system instead of grading. And he did not have a permit yet. This was an application, and he was given the permit in November. So after violating the permit and not getting fined, he was given the permit anyway. Page 12 is not the greatest picture, but you can see the orange crane truck inside the building, which is expressly forbidden on the back of the permit to put commercial equipment in there. Crane truck is definitely going to be commercial equipment, and it says Bailey Construction on the side of that crane truck. That was on March 29th. Okay, page 13 is the same crane truck still in the barn with the bathroom where it's expressly forbidden. That's on April 2nd. We'll go to page 14. That's just an email I sent to Mike Lascola, March of 21. He's the health department guy, I guess, and he's in charge of a lot of stuff. I'm not sure exactly what, septic systems, et cetera, and toxic dumping. And these are Google photos from Google Earth of the fill site then, and it's significantly larger now. And you can see a vast field of debris already forming. And if you look at page 16, you will see in yellow, those are the areas identified in the email as toxic dumping sites. And specifically, if you follow the line on page 16 over to that little yellow spot at the corner of that foundation, that's where he built a retaining wall and got permission to put his sidewalk around his barn. Okay? Currently, Don Bailey is filling the entire yellow area with his 40-plus foot concrete slabs.
Sorry to interrupt. That's your 6 minutes there. Okay, Commissioner French, was there something you said you wanted to address?
Yeah, thank you, Vice Chair Kearns. We did have a conference call last week, and in that call was myself, my executive assistant, and Mike Nelson, the city prosecuting attorney's office, and we went through the information that Mr. Ward has provided here, and then had a conversation about how to proceed. And the challenge is, what evidence can we use and what evidence can't we use? And when it came to the photographs, because we did not have our building inspector take those photographs, the conversation was, would the court treat this as hearsay or not admissible and stuff, because there was no way to guarantee when or where and who took the pictures and stuff. So that was the nature of the conversation. It wasn't to say that they aren't admissible. It was to speculate, would they be considered as we proceed with some kind of legal action and stuff. So that was the nature of the conversation and stuff. And so we're just trying to find a path forward. And as we have experienced on other properties, the legislation that provides enforcement authorities to counties isn't as extensive as it is for municipalities, and so we're trying to find a path forward to try and address not only Mr. Ward's concerns, which are very legitimate, and I don't want to challenge that at all, but we've got some other properties, as we've discussed, or likewise enforcement opportunities and stuff. So we're just trying to find a path forward to try and address some of these. And so it was not to discredit the nature of the photographs, it's just trying to figure out how could we admit them as something other than hearsay in a court action. So.
Great. If there's anyone else wishing to participate in open public forum, please come forward. Second call. Third and final call for anybody wishing to testify in open public forum. Seeing no one, we will close open public forum, and I will look to my fellow commission. Oh, is there someone online? Oh, okay. Looks like we have Max joining us. Max, if you could please state your name and address for the record, and then you will have 3 minutes.
I am Max Gorkovchenko. My address is 1815 North Oberlin Road, Spokane Valley, Washington, 99206. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect, yes. I don't know what we're talking about exactly right now, but are we talking about Kendall Street, West Lot, and the 8th Lot adjoining to the Gorkovchenko parcel?
No, that is an item for public hearing, so no, we are not to the, to Kendall Street yet, no.
Gotcha. Do you have a time estimate when that is coming up? I'm trying to get off work for that.
It should be, I would say in less than 5 minutes, we'll be on to that agenda item.
Perfect. Then I apologize and thank you.
Yep. Okay. Seeing no one else wishing to participate in an open public forum, I will look to my fellow commissioners for action on items 2 and 3.
Mr. Vice Chair, I would move that we approve items 2 and 3 and all the sub-items appearing thereunder in today's agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 The motion passes unanimously. All right, oh, and just for the record, there was no written comment on any of these agenda items. Yep. Okay, that brings us to our public hearing items. We're starting first with public hearing item number 4A, which is in the matter concerning the proposal of to dispose of certain miscellaneous personal county property by auction, recycling, and destruction, project number P13329. And we are joined online by Carrie for a short presentation. So Carrie, please feel free to unmute and take it away. Can Carrie also not hear us? She can, okay. I see Tony just jumped on.
Oh, maybe it's Tony.
Tony, are you going to be
Alright.
presenting to us today?
I can jump on this one. Guys, this is Tony Hall.
Okay, go for it, Tony.
All right, so good afternoon, commissioners. I am Tony Hall, the purchasing and project manager here at Spokane County. Today, we're talking about project P13329, which is a request for the board to declare as surplus those items listed in the attached spreadsheet and authorize their disposition by auction, recycling, or destruction as specified in the various department heads attachments. All IT items have been approved by the Information Technology Director, and after salvaging, any usable parts are going to be recycled. And today, I am respectfully requesting that you approve these items and their disposition. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Tony? All right. No, looks like we're good, Tony.
Awesome, thank you all.
Okay, so this is a public hearing item, so I will ask if there's anybody wishing to testify on item 4A. Please come forward, or if you're joining us on Zoom, please use the raise hand function, or if you're joining us by phone, please press star 9. Second call for anybody wishing to testify on item 4A. Third and final call. Seeing no one in the chambers or on Zoom, I will close the public hearing, and I'll look to my fellow commissioners for a motion.
Yes, Mr. Vice Chair, I would move that we accept the recommendation from staff in the matter of the disposal of certain miscellaneous personal property, county property, by auction, recycling, or destruction, identified as project number P, like in Peter, 13329.
We have a motion,
Second.
and we have a motion and a second. All right, any discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. All right, that brings us to item number 4B, which is to consider the vacation of County Road, a portion of right-of-way on Kendall Street, County Engineer Road File number 1982 for the Spokane County Public Works Department. And we have a presentation from Matt Zarecor. Take it away, Matt.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you for the time to talk about this potential vacation. You can see on the overhead here on the map, this one's just barely west out of town off of Assembly Road, south of I-90. And on the right side, what we have is we have a plat that's a little over 100 years old. I think it was even 1907 when the original plat happened. And over time, all these lots were sold off to different individuals, but almost none of the roadway was ever developed. So this is a plat where over time people are choosing to buy these lots and build on them, and we're trying to help them through that process by giving them adequate access along the way. So the roads have been kind of piecemealed together over time. What we're looking at today is very likely not the final solution to this. There's over 100 lots, closer to 200 lots that we're looking at with just this one plat, and it ties into some other parcels too. And at some point, there'll need to be a project taken on and likely helped by the neighborhood to make an adequate road system. And in the interim here, we are holding on to all of these right-of-ways as best we can to facilitate whatever the final answer is going to be. And the one in question here you can see is a north-south right-of-way connecting 28th and 27th. Both of those roads are semi-built and more or less stay in the right-of-way. And even more important long-term is the parcel just to the north of it's a park parcel owned by the city of Spokane. And in our conversations with them, they do have a very long-range plan to develop that into a park. So there's going to be a pedestrian generator. There'll be a need for some north-south connections through here. Our current road standards require connections on new projects. If somebody was doing a new plat in the county, every 660 feet. And just to put that in context of this map, if you see that right of way and then the next one to the east where it says 27th, that's 660 feet. So in essence, what we're looking at is basically what we would want in terms of our current standards. So it would be the recommendation of the county engineer's office not to vacate any right-of-ways at this time. It's not impossible that at some point in the future we might want to vacate some of these right-of-ways, but even where it is today, it's only meeting current standards. It's not exceeding them. So happy to answer any questions and address any comments.
All right, any questions for Matt? Okay, thank you. All right, well, this is a public hearing, and I know we at least had one gentleman on Zoom who wanted to testify on this item, but anyone else in the chamber who's wishing to testify, please come forward. And also for the record, we did have one individual who submitted written comment. That was Joseph Everman, and so that is in each of the commissioners' packets here on the dais. So, all right, sir, if you'd like to testify, please. I saw you had already filled out one of the forms, so please state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes to testify.
Afternoon, everyone. I am Joseph Everman, 3915 West 27th Avenue. Okay, hopefully everyone did receive those submittals that I sent in. I'd like to start with the county engineer's opinion not to recommend the vacation and to wait for an ultimate overall plan. Well, the West Sterling Heights plat was established in 1909 with 80.6 acres and 3.5 miles of roadway drawn in that plat. In 1970, my family moved to West Sterling Heights on 27th Avenue. There was only a half mile of existing roadway at that time. Now forward to today, 114 years later, there's still only 1.3 miles of road in that plat. So the ultimate overall plan almost seems endless. The engineer also states that approximately half of the lots have been built on in that plat. By looking at the plat map provided, all future growth is established on those main avenue roads, which do run east and west. Kendall Street, north and south between 27th and 28th, which is unopened and undeveloped, only involves 4 parcels that it is adjacent to. And those are not scores of individually owned lots, just 4. Your approval of the vacation of Kendall Street will benefit the county in added property tax revenue and allow the adjacent property owners to utilize the unused space, and it would not adversely affect the neighborhood. Now, there was mention of that park just north. In 2020, the county sold that park to the city. So saying that the outlook for roads in that area is detrimental doesn't seem to be in the plan to retain that park, because now it's gone. So any of that space there is not going to be utilized in the county's eyes. It's now city property. And I thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you. All right, if there's anyone else in the, yeah, come forward, sir. Gina will get your, or I'm sorry, Shelley will get your slip from you.
Okay.
All right, and same thing, if you could state your name and address for the record, and then you'll have
Thank you.
3 minutes.
I'm Ken Clark, or Kenneth Clark, 4011 West 27th Avenue, Spokane. I am neighbor to the man that just spoke. I agree with all he said, and we would not mind paying the extra taxes, and we would certainly like the green space available to us, and we would certainly take care of the vegetation that has grown up much more than has been done so far. The area is also used by wildlife quite often. Again, I would ask the county to vacate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. All right, anyone else wishing to testify, please come forward. I believe, again, we had one individual on Zoom. Is he still with us?
Hey, this is Max Gorkachenko.
Yes,
My
okay.
address is-
Max, take it
I already
away.
stated my address. I'm speaking on behalf of Vladimir and Lydia, the owners of that parcel that's on the southwest, right next to Kendall. And I guess they were just, I mean, they informed me about this a little late, so I'm not exactly sure what the vacation process entails. How does that benefit or unbenefit their parcel? If that's an okay question.
Max, I can tell you what would happen if the property was vacated. It goes back to the adjacent parcels equally.
So I can't hear you on Zoom.
Okay. Can you hear me now, Max?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. What would happen is the property would go back to the adjacent parcels equally. So basically the center of that right-of-way, it would go back to each side equally. So they would get half of that right-of-way that's the frontage to their parcel.
Gotcha. And follow-up question, do the owners have to purchase those little parcels, or does it just go back to them and then they just increase the property tax essentially?
Yeah, they do not pay for it, but it would increase their property values and subsequently their
Okay.
taxes.
Gotcha. I mean, I spoke to Lydia and Vladimir. If that is the case, I'm in support of Joseph's vacation.
Okay. You still got some time left if you wanted to keep, or is that all you wanted to share with us? Okay. All right. Thank you for joining us, Max. All right. So we'll go again. If anyone wishing to testify on item 4B, if you're joining us on Zoom, please use the raise hand function, or *9 if you're joining us on the phone, or if you're in the chambers, just feel free to come forward. Second call. Third and final call. Seeing no one else wishing to testify, we'll close the public hearing, and I will look to my fellow commissioners for a motion.
So, Mr. Vice Chair, I will move that we accept the recommendation of our county road engineer and deny the request for vacation of Kendall Street as identified as County Engineers Road File Number 1982.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any additional comments, discussion? Commissioner French?
So what I heard from our road engineer is that it's not a denial forever, it's a denial today, as we try and figure out additional needs and demands for the right-of-way and stuff. So while my motion was to not accept to accept the recommendation of staff today, it was not to shut off all future opportunities for vacating the road once we have got a system identified for this area. Thank you.
Any additional comments?
I just want to thank you guys for coming down today, and like Commissioner French, I do think we need to consider what that road system might look like. I would like to follow up with the county engineer after this hearing and find out, I'd like to learn a little bit more about the park and the future development, and it seems like something we could coordinate with the city of Spokane on. And so I guess this is not in my estimation, it's not a forever no, but I think right now, we just don't have enough information to make that decision around vacating right now. So I'll support the motion.
All right. Seeing no other comments, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Right, motion passes unanimously. That brings us to item number 4C, to consider the vacation of a county road, a portion of right-of-way on Ross Creek Road, County Engineer Road File Number 609 for Spokane County Public Works Department. And another presentation from Matt Zerkor.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. This next vacation proposal is in the very northeast corner of the county off of Blanchard Road. And you can see on the vicinity map there, it's very much in the corner of the county. So next slide. Currently, the ownership along the frontage of this roadway is all in one hands, with the exception of the parcel kind of in the northeast corner, 9018. And that both the person petitioning that owns the majority of the frontage and the person that has that smaller portion of the frontage are all in support of vacating the right-of-way. Off the end of this right-of-way is Inland Empire Paper Property, and they've secured an easement for access that satisfies their need. They've also submitted a letter supporting the vacation, and the proposed gate will go very near Blanchard there, right almost at the end of the red line. And at this point, we don't see any current or future need for this right-of-way, and the engineer's office would support this vacation. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Matt? Commissioner Waldron?
Mr. Zerkor, I think I remember that this has been an ongoing process, right? Wasn't there an application many years ago? And so this has taken some time to get to this point. Could you just elaborate a little bit on that?
You bet, be
Okay.
glad to. And Monty Chamberlain, our office administrator, has been the one doing it directly, but he's luckily in California at the moment, basking in the sun with his mother. So my knowledge of the background is we have had this petition for quite a while. They had to step back because it took a while to get Inland Empire Paper's support for it. And they had a limited access petition, 2 of them actually, that we had passed previously. And one of them took a portion of the road and gated it, and then the other one moved the gate further towards Blanchard. And then finally, after they were able to work with Inland Paper and get the support they needed for the vacation, then they came back with the vacation, and now we're able to support it.
Thank you.
Okay. This is a public hearing item, so anybody wishing to testify on item 4C, please come forward if you're here in the chamber. If you're joining us on Zoom, please use the raise hand function, or if you're joining us by phone, please press star 9. Second call for anybody wishing to testify on public hearing item number 4C. Third and final call. Seeing no one wishing to testify, we'll close the public hearing, and I will look to my fellow commissioners for a motion.
Mr. Vice Chair, I would move that we accept the recommendation of the county road engineer with regard to vacating a portion of right-of-way on Rose Creek Road, county engineer's road file number 609 for the Spokane County Public Works Department.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, conversation? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. All right, well, that, oh, and then we do have one by leave item. This is so Resolution 5, by leave item to reappoint Nancy Voorhees to the Joint County and City Spokane Airport Board. So is there a motion on this by leave item?
Mr. Vice Chair, I would move that we reappoint Nancy Voorhees to the Joint County and City Airport Board position as presented in the by leave item.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second, so I will open up a public hearing on this item. If there's anybody wishing to testify on the by leave item regarding the appointment of Nancy Voorhees to the Airport Board, if you're in the chamber, please come forward. If you're joining us on Zoom, please use the raise hand function. If you're on the phone, please press star 9. Second call for anybody wishing to testify. Third and final call. Seeing no one wishing to testify, we'll close the public hearing, and I will call for a vote. All in favor on the motion, say aye.
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 All right, the motion passes unanimously. So those are all of our items on the agenda. I will ask Commissioner Cuney, do we have your permission to use your stamp, your signature stamp?
Yes, please.
Yes, okay. All right, and then we do have, so today being April 11th is a very special day. It's our own Jared Webley's 40th birthday. So happy birthday, Jared. Yes.
He made it to the next decade.
All right, so we are going to sign some documents, but I was told that we do have an executive session item, just one item, and the purpose?
This is going to be a pending potential litigation item pursuant to 42-30-110-1I. This is in regards to a proposed settlement agreement, a condemnation case. Those present should be the board, myself, the CEO, Scott Simmons, DPA Matt Koza from my office, Kyle Tuig from Public Works, and outside counsel Megan Clark. Am I missing anybody? And, sorry, Matt Zarakor as well.
Okay, all right, and so we will be going in, so we'll take a few minutes to sign some documents. We'll start the executive session and just to give folks some time to clear the room, we'll start at 2:45. And how long?
15 minutes.
And it'll take us 15 minutes, and at the end of that, we will adjourn for the day.
Correct. No action needed.
No action will be taken today. All right, thank you all for joining us.